welcome to tonight's edition of Down the Middle. I am your host Xavier Ortega, and on controls, my padre, Marlon Ortega. Today, we are now off the heels of Payback 2020. You did not give us a time to rest, WWE. Seriously, a week after a pay-per-view, you gotta do better. Either way, it's time to start off with Apollo Crews and Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship. This match went back and forth. As usual, Bobby Lashley hit a sweet move with Apollo hooked on his elbow, and then on the ropes, great action by both of these two. Apollo hitting some German suplex on Bobby Lashley, doing the Wakanda Forever sign. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. And it all ended with probably one of the coolest and most cleanest frog splashes I have ever seen on Bobby Lashley. I mean, if you go back, look at the height that Apollo got on Bobby Lashley. It was awesome. Either way, it was not enough, because in the end, Bobby Lashley became the new United States Champion. Now, this is good because ever since Lashley came back to WWE, he had an amazing run in TNA. And then having him smile, 3 guys dressing up in drag, Leo Rush, the whole Lana, Rusev, Bobby Lashley angle, pure, utter crap. But this, with him and the Hurt Business MVP, this has now totally revised his career. Then we move on to Big E versus Sheamus. Now this match was slow, but it really picked up in the end. Big E hitting a spear through the ropes, and then ending it with the big ending. Now, I do have to say that the big ending is kind of like ridiculous, because what's the point of having the move? It's just gonna on your entire arm. Like, that's a separated shoulder for sure. Either way, Big E gets the win. Then we move on to Matt Riddle versus Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin.
More like Boron.
Anyway, Baron Corbin and Matt Riddle. These two have a great match. Matt Riddle looked like an absolute beast. Just legit hitting Baron Corbin, doing MMA submission holds with the Kimura lock and the triangle hold. And then Matt Riddle ending it with the floating bro, apparently what it's called. Anyway, now it's time to move on to the more interesting matchups of the night. Well, not interesting in one of the matches, but stick with me here. First up, Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax versus Sasha Banks and Bayley for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. The turn is coming, folks. Bayley and Sasha and Nia and Shayna have a great match. Some great near falls, with Nia throwing Sasha into Bayley's pin. Sasha trying to pin Nia while Shayna got hit with the Bayley's Availing on Bayley. And it was not enough, but in the end, an amazing finish. Shayna Baszler locked Sasha Banks in like a tree toe hold. And then Bayley tried to come in for the save, but then got hit with the Karafuda clutch. Sasha, while she was still in the toe hold, still trapped in the hold, she was trying to help Bayley, but then in a great finish once again, Shayna trapped Sasha's arm, and Bayley ended up tapping, and now Shayna and Nia are new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Definitely you do. And this, while it may seem that Shayna has been demoted to the Women's Tag Team Division, I don't think so, because she still needs to get built up. I mean, she basically beat Asuka's record for the NXT Women's Champion. I think she beat Asuka in the longest NXT Women's title reign. But now she is a women's tag team champion, and I'm happy to see how this goes. And finally, hopefully, the turn is going to happen between Bayley and Sasha for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Please. Please. So let me move on to Keith Lee versus Randy Orton. And people, really, you gotta get over the theme. Yes, it's not Keith Lee's amazing NXT theme. It's not his original theme. But still, really, you're just gonna say that he's buried all for a theme change? Come on. Like, that's not... Anyway, Keith Lee and Randy Orton have a great match. Keith Lee starts to show some of the stuff that made him great in NXT. The leapfrog, the chops. He did not nail the Hurricane Rana though. He did not nail the fireman's carry onto a splash. Either way, Keith Lee looked like an absolute star in this match, nailing Randy Orton with the Spirit Bomb. Randy Orton got beaten by Keith Lee. You definitely do. Alright. We will be right back after a few messages. Stay tuned.
If you're in the Lincoln Square neighborhood, come by and enjoy a tasty treat at the Lincoln Ice Cream Company located at 4919 North Lincoln Avenue in Chicago. Try our homemade waffles, biscuits and gravy, along with other delicious treats. We also serve all-natural Hershey's ice cream. So stop by the Lincoln Ice Cream Company at 4919 North Lincoln Avenue. That's 4919 North Lincoln Avenue. You'll be glad you did.
Welcome back, and now it's time to finish this recap. Last two matches of the night. Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy. Buddy Murphy versus Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. Now, I'm just going to get one thing out of the way. There is rumors that Seth Rollins is going to take some time off from WWE. But, in my opinion, he should have done that after Money in the Bank. Because on the Raw after Money in the Bank, Becky Lynch announced that she was pregnant. And anyone with common sense knows that Seth Rollins is the father, unless they did this whole nonsense that Seth might not even be the father of Becky's child.
I might be the father of Becky's child.
Anyway. So Seth should have taken time off after Money in the Bank. Because, think about it. He should not be trying to kill a family. He should be preparing to care for one. Anyway, so Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy versus Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. These four have a great match. In the closing moments of the match, Seth Rollins tried to nail a what's it called again?
Curb stop.
Buckle bomb.
Okay, sorry. Alright.
Buckle bomb.
Seth Rollins tried.
Right. Yeah, so anyway, in the closing moments of the match, Seth Rollins tries to hit a buckle bomb, but the move is still banned because of the Nia Jax hit it on Kairi Sane. He tries to go for a buckle bomb, while Buddy Murphy nails an enziguri on the outside. But when Seth tries to go for it, Rey Hurricane Ranas him into the ropes, and Buddy Murphy ends up kicking Seth Rollins in the face. So then it's all down to Dominic and Mysterio, who nailed the 619 Frost Splash combo for the win. So Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio get the win. And I think it's now going to lead to Buddy Murphy versus Seth Rollins in the future. And I think it needs to happen because Buddy Murphy has already gotten a lot of mainstream acceptance from his angle with Rollins. So now it's time to break him apart from his own. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But if it does, whoopee. Now it's on for the main event. Roman Reigns versus The Fiend versus Braun Strowman in a no-holds-barred triple threat match what is the difference? Because there's no disqualification in a triple threat match anyway. So the match starts off with Braun still ruining what is still considered the greatest entrance for me. The Fiend has the best entrance of all time, and Braun, his bald ass, tried to ruin it. So the match starts off with Braun and Fiend. You're wondering why isn't Roman into this? That comes in an interesting part. So Braun and Fiend, they brawl outside the ring, kind of like what they did to SummerSlam, but in this time, Braun and Fiend land on some tables. Braun gets Uranagi'd on a announce table, and Fiend grabbed a mallet, the one that we saw in the Firefly Funhouse, and actually nails someone with it. That does not count at Hell in a Cell 2019. He did not hit Seth Rollins with it. He drove it into his stomach. But this time, the Fiend hits Braun Strowman with it. And this is some great character work, because the Fiend, after he hit Braun with the mallet, he looked conflicted. Like, he looked like he was destroyed inside. And that is the greatest thing about the Fiend character, because Bray Wyatt has also described this as a monster in his own world of darkness, trying to escape it. That's why it has hurt and heal on his gloves. But then, here comes for the most interesting part. Braun Strowman is on the top rope, for some reason. The Fiend goes up to stop him, and then, in a moment that is still replicated to this day, Braun Strowman and the Fiend end up breaking the ring.
Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit!
Now, was that supposed to be a fat joke? That Bray and Braun are too fat and big to break the ring? Anyway, now comes the interesting part. Roman Reigns, who they build as trying not to probably stay out of this match until the last minute, because they kept trying to build this part as him not signing the contract until the last minute of the match. But then, once the ring was broken, Paul Heyman's new client, Roman Reigns, that's right, you heard me, Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns, came out. Roman signed the contract, talk about being late, and then went to town. Now, the finish of the match is still debatable. If the Fiend should have been low blown by Roman, but either way, Roman Reigns wins the Universal Championship. And I was okay with this. I said it before, that I hope that it's okay if Roman Reigns, as long as Bray did not take the pin. Sorry, Braun, but you had to take the pin for this. Bray is still too fragile after the crap performance we saw in the country that they always mess up in, Saudi Arabia, when a 50-year-old man destroyed the best thing going today. And that has been Payback 2020. Roman Reigns is now the Universal Champion, and that's good for him. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that ends this recap. If you like what you see, go to LIT Enterprises, hit them up on their website, www.litenterprises.com. Check out our YouTube channel. It will be in the link below. And while you're at it, next weekend, check out Lincoln's Ice Cream Shop on 4919 North Lincoln Avenue in Chicago, Illinois for their grand opening. Thank you all, and good night.